The guitar solo mostly speaks for itself. I tried to maintain most of it that I could at the A minor part and the fourth line of the section. I didn't even try to keep the rhythm going and express the descending line cliche. So there's a bit of a gap there, but I get right back on it. And the only other thing that's going on, you can see the notes going down, the second voice, the accompaniment, is just trying to keep the chord progression together, especially with the descending notes that happen usually in the melody of the A part. So guitar solo over the A part, and this time the bass line is going to have to go boom dee da boom 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 dee and why da da, because I needed to be ready for the next for the guitar solo notes. So basically that's the rhythm right there. Boom 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 dee da 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 doom boom. Sorry, da 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 do do beam beam bam ba 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 boom boom beam bam boom bam. And that's pretty much it until we get to the G7 chord. So that's my solution to the A minor measure right there. Other than that, all the action is in the melody, so let's get to it. 1 and 2 E and 3 and a 4 E. I actually play the bass notes with downstrokes. It's that slow that you can get away with downstrokes on 16ths. So here it is again. 1 and 2 E and a E and a 4 E and let's leave the bass notes out for a second. So I think that slide there is pretty nice, but of course you can do and make it easier. And here's what I mean here. And just to beef it up a little bit, since we don't have any chords or accompaniment notes at this point, I use the open A string and do. And the open A to release right there. This is on measure 24. So here it is coming into it. That's where we're heading to from F to D7. One more time. So we use the open A and the open D string to beef it up and give us some legato and sustain. Boom, 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 boom. So there's the move, D, F sharp, B, and we get hooked on bass notes in these solo arrangements, and we end up with difficult things like that that are worth it if you can do the whole thing. So let's try from the measure 25, D7. So the last one, we have so little going on, mostly open strings, and a big G that you can let those go. The other bass notes, though, I don't like to let go too often, or too much in the other ones. Let me see. I want that to stay. Doesn't sound good like that, but it's actually the note in the guitar solo. And that one you just have to let off. I don't know how to get that chromatic to work. Or maybe I just did. Let's see. I suppose if you really need to, but don't prioritize it. Everyone knows how that fun little lick sounds, so you don't want to skimp on that. Even if you're totally staccato in the chords right there, the melody wins. So the melody, the guitar solo does come right back there. So strumming back backwards might mean that this direction of strumming that we usually do doesn't quite work. Not a big problem to just turn the pick completely backwards against the strings. We usually point down. Now, or sorry, we usually have the tip pointing up toward our chest. Now we'd have the tip pointing down to the floor to come up like that, so that we get the full chord on the syncopated beat, the of beat 2, 1/16th note before the downbeat of beat 3. So that's the whole guitar solo, I think, right there. Let me see. Actually, that's nothing to sneeze at either. That's E is open, but you got to get D and C. Why the pinky? Because our middle finger and ring finger are busy right there. So that's a tricky one right there. Just getting all those grips to work out. And why? Because we get hooked on bass notes. That's the whole deal. By the time you get to here, we have the same old riff that gets us out of the A part. Oh yeah, by the way, at the end of that riff, just to get you ready for the harmonics, final verse, you're gonna play like this with an open G in the C chord, because that's gonna be the note we need for harmonics, the open G. I'll see you there in the harmonics section.